You're not allowed to be mean, abusive, rude, passive aggressive, um, hostile, condescending towards me. You're not allowed to say, hey, can we talk? Because that indicates that you're an authority figure and you're not an authority figure. You're nothing but an abuser. And you already know the answer to, hey, can we talk? Hey, can I get a minute to talk? You already know the answer to that. The answer is no. There's nothing to discuss. The only answer is to hand me back over to the authorities, which is Colin. Um, and that's the answer. How can we get you home, Alyssa? How can we get you to Colin, Alyssa? That's the only fucking answer at this point, okay? So there's no, hey, Alyssa, I've noticed a change in your behavior, blah, 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 blah. Or more like, oh my God, Alyssa, you're such a shut in now. Like, you're so sweet, okay? Like, that's literally so abusive. You know, I'm not a shut in. And you know, you hear this shit every single day, and you know that I'm fucking saying this shit out loud. Um, and anyway, probably somebody's asking why the dementia is getting worse. And you're calling it dementia, which is literally hilarious. So there's one answer. Obviously, don't come at me before I have my coffee and stuff like that. My hair is like breaking. It's really driving me nuts. And yeah. What did the pirate say to the steering wheel that it was attached to its nutsack? It's really driving me nuts. That is a joke from Jimmy Hayward. Thank you, Jimmy. A joke from a long time ago. Um, and here we are still. Okay, and I know I'm not up shit's creek or whatever, but all that stuff includes asking me for help. That's all asking me for help, which the alien said will immediately induce toxic fumes into the air immediately. Okay. There's literally nothing to talk about. You already know the answer. Stop playing stupid. Stop playing like that telepathy isn't real, and stop being so super annoying. And I'm reporting this to my father because obviously people are acting like that around me, and I don't know what to do anymore. And get up and help myself. That would be helping myself, and that would make the dementia way worse. Um, and that I just talked about that, okay? And that was the answer. Don't ask Alyssa and Claire for help because you know the answer is to give us our motherfucking castle back, and that's the only answer. Not no make any sudden movements, not da 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 da. Like New York is about to get eaten by dragons. Okay. So that's why I think you're considering like, oh, I think I can drop off of Sebastian Stans. I think the answer really is to give me back to Colin and just mind your own business. Just mind your own business about literally everything else. Because it's just none of your business. Like you keep thinking like, oh, like there's a negotiation on the table, da, 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 da. Like let's just waste her life with negotiations since that's allowed. No, it's not allowed. Okay? None of this is allowed. You have to hand me back over to Colin. Okay, so that's not my sister talking. That's somebody else named Jessica who thinks she's my sister. Um there's no answer. There's no answer. There's no answer. Okay, the only answer is to hand me back over to Colin. Give me back to my fucking husband. And we gave you the same out, he said, many years ago when I worked for the same person that he works for. Okay. And we gave you the same ideas in your head, like just hand her back over to Colin, hand her back over to Colin, and you failed. And capitalism, you guys handed me back over to capitalism. That's when I started getting my jobs at Mattel and supporting myself and being a badass bitch. And that's exactly what you guys keep suggesting. Oh, I think she should be a badass bitch and just get a badass bitch corporate job. It's not a suggestion anymore, and it's not a negotiation. I'm allowed to be a housewife. So anyway, I slept till 1 today because I didn't sleep very well last night. I kept waking up, not being able to go back to sleep. So I took the other melatonin at like 5 a.m. Like I was awake for like a few hours in the middle of the night. I couldn't go back to sleep. So I took the other half of the melatonin. I was with Timothy Chalamet last night, and then Timothy was an overlay of someone who was controlling and mean and was saying, like, I want you to know this is real, that I'm really with you, and I can't be with you in real life because I can't be with you in real life because then it could be a detriment to your health. And Timothy was like, I would literally never say that. And because of that, I'm going to start playing everything everywhere all at once. And he made his head explode into confetti, like in everything everywhere all at once. Because clearly he's a psyop with the abuser, and the abuser was saying, I can't be with you because it's a detriment to your health. And it's not a negotiation. It's my video game. I'm allowed to be with Timothy Chalamet in real life. So, so yeah, I was with Tim, and then, they always have completely different personalities, my husband's. So I want to say, like, the personalities are sort of coming down to earth. Like, they obviously have different personalities on earth, but they're like it's sort of like one, it's sort of like it's becoming more real and earthly, I want to say, because their human personalities are like coming through um, the dreams, if you will. Um, hey, are you listening? So, what else? I was with Tim last night, and then I was in a very dirty apartment with my one of my best friends from life. His name's John, and our apartment was like super dirty, and people were like worried to come over our house and eat because they were afraid of food poisoning. And John and I weren't afraid of food poisoning, and we weren't afraid of living in like a dirty apartment. But then the women's energy that were afraid of dirt started infecting me, and I started being like afraid of like being dirty and living in a dirty apartment and like getting food poisoning because people, it was sort of like a new issue, like food poisoning. People kept getting food poisoning and dying or whatever. And John and I were laughing about it because we weren't afraid of that. But then the women's energy started to infect me, and I started to be like afraid of that and like started to like want things to be clean. And I was like, oh my God, what's happening? And it was like it was, if it was future Earth, it was a very dirty future Earth. Um, and then I heard like people screaming in the middle of the night, the dementia's way worse. Oh my God, Alyssa, the dementia's way worse. And like screaming and like laughing because it was like so bad, whatever they were seeing. And then there was like electric blue and electric green stripes um, that were going across my ceiling. And yeah, no shit. Like, we'll take you to Sebastian Stan, Alyssa, since you said he was going crazy. We don't want to be nice to you since you're like in charge and everything. Love Dakota Johnson, the mouse of the internet. Dakota's like, I feel way safer because I'm a celebrity. So I want to report that to John as well. My forehead just looks like big sometimes and I hate it. Anyway, um, whatever. So, it's not even that big. We've already done this. My hands are tiny. What else was in the dream? Oh, I think I was with Shauna and Rion in a dream last night, but I don't remember what happened. I was like hanging out with them. Of course, I was hanging out with them. I was at the event. Um, but I don't remember what happened. I was just like hanging out with them and stuff. Um, oh, Shauna was saying, "Are you getting excited? We get to treat you like a baby next." And I was like, "Yeah, that's supposed to be the next thing that we're doing." People are like, "It's a negotiation, Alyssa. Just get over it." Like we didn't haven't done this for 10 years. And like they haven't like okay, like right before I worked at Mattel, um with I worked with famous people. I worked in a household that was a designer and she was married to a famous producer. And I guess that there was talk in the ethers of handing me back to Colin back then. And so that was 2010. And they chose not to. I think it was 2009, 2010. I think I worked for Hillary for a while. Um, they chose not to. And we don't really know why. But what did happen was Hillary was like, I think Luke Wilson's looking for a new girlfriend. And I showed him your picture and she like showed me her phone and like had like a picture of me on there. And she's like, I showed him this picture of you. I hope that's okay. And I was like, of course that's okay. Luke Wilson was like literally my celebrity crush at the time in 2010. Let's look it up what he looked like around then. Let's say 2009. 2009 Luke Wilson. Now I'm like, oh my God, he looks like such a dork. But yeah, it's like probably around there. Anyway, at the time I was like 2009. I was like, yes, that's like my part. Like literally it was like my number one celebrity crush and she just like randomly was like, oh, I just saw Luke Wilson this weekend and I showed him your picture. Like, I think he needs a new girlfriend. I hope that's okay. And I'm like, of course it is. And then like she showed it to him. Like she asked him like a couple of times and he was just like not interested. And I was just like, she's like, I think he's dating like a shop girl from American Rag. And I was just like, what does the shop girl from American Rag have that I don't, Luke? As I look at his picture on the internet, I was so angry. I was like, what? Why? Anyways, I think that was part of the fumble of the bag. Um, because he was probably supposed to introduce me to my father, yada yada, or try to just happily marry me. Um, and he's an idiocracy. You're not allowed to intimidate the witness. That should be obvious by now. Like, it's crazy. And I don't know what was happening in the anyway, somebody should interview Luke Wilson as to why that happened. Luke Wilson, what's your problem, bro? So that was like another way we were like literally trying to solve this problem back in 2009, 2010. And it's not like Hillary didn't try. She definitely tried. He said he didn't want to take the bait. And Hillary's like, her father is not going to be happy. Did you guys know Brandon and Colin were my father back then? Um, so anyway, yeah, that was the life of me back when I was a person. And I was supposed to just go through life like la la la, and look what's happening, Jeej. I'm not going through life la la la. Like 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 was planned. It was definitely planned to go that way. Okay. So I was with a friend last night in that apartment with John, and she was like so super angry, and she had like masculine strength. I want to say like Draco strength. Oh, I do remember one of the dreams. I was like going camping. I think it was like going camping, like on one of those buses where it's like not a bus, but it's like a van with like multiple seats like this. And it was on a van with like multiple people, like I guess being driven to the campsite or something. And I was talking to one of the guys and I was like, I don't think you know that woman that you're going camping with. And his outfit changed from red to light purple, which is like my color. And he was like, you know what? She might be right. I might not know her. With the timelines might have shifted. I might not know her anymore. And it switched him onto my timeline. And I saw Aaron giving um, speeches behind the curtain, basically to his audience, and saying like what he wanted to say or whatever, and letting the energy like filter it out, which is a good technique. My eyes just turned purple just then. I know people are being told to halt their projects because time is up and it's making the dementia way worse because they are absolutely 100% listening and pretending that they're not and trying to delay the inevitable and deny it. I want to say, like, deny me attention. And I had like a ton of urgency last night. Like, I need to be given to him today. Like, I literally need to be given back to Colin today. Like, it needs to just be like, hey, how can we give you back to Colin? Like, really simple, easy thing. And and that's all I'm here for. And I hear myself at this point, and that's what Sebastian Stan is saying. Sebastian's like, I feel like I'm not allowed to keep her, and that's why that keeps happening. And so a lot of people are saying that I'm the only thing when I like watch TV or something. Starlight said it first, so Starlight gets the credit. She's like, it's really super obvious when she watches The Boys because she's the only thing that you see, and Oh, another thing was I was put on a um how did that happen then? Um yeah, so everything everywhere all at once is starting to bleed through because you guys aren't listening to me and Tim's request. And we would absolutely 100% be together in physical reality, and we're so sick of like you're saying like this crap to us. Um I was put on a roller coaster. Okay, this is a little weird, and this is sort of what happens when you start tripping balls or whatever. You start seeing things that kind of don't make sense. I was put on a roller coaster, and the latch went down, which means like buckle up. It's about to like go off. Like um, the space codes are about to go off, and then there was a roller coaster seat facing me right in front of me where the latch went down and there was nothing there, and so it was sort of like me being in my void, being put onto a roller coaster, and I'm the only thing, and there's nothing else, which might be a new way of me being put into my void. Excuse me. Bros are having epiphanies on the show Homeworthy. If you guys want to watch it, people are having epiphany after epiphany after epiphany in New York because New Yorkers shouldn't be that dumb. You know what I mean? Their apartments are $1.3 million. So they should be a little bit smart to have that much, a one bedroom apartment that's $1.3 million. So they're having like epiphanies after epiphanies. Um, that's not a brownstone. It's an apartment. It's a one bedroom apartment. Okay. Brownstone is like a house and it's like a whole bunch of million. It depends on you know, the interior design and the streets that it's on. Um, so, so yeah, I think I went to my void last night, guys. It's just been a little bit different than how I normally go to my void. Um, which is literally me in a like this. It's just like me existing. I don't know where the tiny earth is, but it's just like little me if I had like a little doll of me or something, but like existing in complete blackness, complete darkness. Um, that's me in my void, just Alyssa in her void, and that resets the video game. And that's the image that I keep waiting for, because that definitely means that I'm about to have a lot of space codes go off and reset this video game and get a lot more codes back. But I think that was just like a new and updated version of the void last night because there was nothing there in the other seats, and that would indicate that I'm in my void all by myself. And he did say yesterday, Orange Body did say he'll walk out. So that would mean there's nothing there. And that would mean that people are like more desperate to like be around each other, to hang out with each other, to talk to each other. When there's nothing there, they reach for each other, they go out more. They're more socializing or whatever because there's literally nothing there. And so it feels like so super creepy when like you're all by yourself. And so like the only thing you want to do is like congregate with other people when there's nothing there. Like you don't want to be alone, like literally at all. Like you don't want to be working from home. Like all those people that want to work in the office, like those are all the people that are pretty much against us and like are like really hate nothing there and like want to socialize and like be abusive and whatever and just be horrible people. It's like a really good indication that they're not on Team Melissa because when nothing's there, that's how you act. Like, because nothing's there, so you just want to like be around other people. You know what I mean? You want to hug other people. You want to like interact with other people because it's so freaking lonely and it's so freaking scary and it's so freaking eerie. Depending on which level of nothing's there you're on, because there's a few of them now. And it was definitely eerie when I was put into the roller coaster last night. Um, and there was like nothing there, and I was like, "Whoa, that's creepy," right? And the last time this happened, there was like I looked at the factory. I was like taking a walk around my house, and this was last year. And I was taking a walk around my house, and I want to say like this is like right before everyone sort of fell off of a huge cliff, proverbial cliff. But I walked around my house. I think I was like looking at the stars changing, and that's when the stars kept changing, whatever, kept changing colors and stuff. So I kept like looking at it, and the sky was like starting to open, and I was starting to see like spaceships in the sky and everything. So I kept like going outside and like looking at stuff at night. And I want to say you guys were listening in at that point and knew that I was Princess from Space at that point and knew that I should be held gently and not tightly and taken care of to not fall asunder. You already know who's talking through me when he talks like that. And then there was like nothing there. I was looking at the factory and there was it was like so creepy and so eerie and there was like nothing there at the factory. Like behind us is the factory. And I was like, what is this? Like it was like so strange. It was so strange. And I walked around the house and then I picked up my uh earth predator piece, Melina, which is a reptilian being. And yeah, and then I came in and I probably stopped brushing my teeth. But I think that's before there was like mega space codes during the summer and like Joe Biden literally tried to come over and like jokingly arrest me with like two strings because he's on my side, but he's like I kind of got to like make this look like it's a tiny bit hostile and my dad was not down with that. And so like Joe Biden came over my house, but he came over asunder, which means he came over there and I was up here. But I still saw him come over and I saw his energy come over and I saw him like put two strings on me and like laugh about it. And he said, I'll arrest her tomorrow. And he's like laughing about it because it wasn't me down there. It was you down there. Um, and that's why like you guys are like partially aggressive because you still think you have power and control in these proclivities and really you're just going crazy. Literally, you're just losing your marbles. Literally, you just need medical attention at this point, or you need to listen to the shamans in the house at this point. And like I said, I didn't see the dementia get worse, but I heard it and I saw my father laughing about it. So I want to say he saw this coming. Um, Good luck to you, Luke Wilson, who turned me down in 2009/2010. Love Gigi and Alyssa. I'll probably watch a Luke Wilson interview after this to see what he has to say. But Like, what the fuck is wrong with it? I was like, yeah, of course. Like, and she asked him like 2 or 3 times, and she's like, I don't think he's interested. I'm like, what do you mean he's not interested? I mean, he's dating a fucking shop girl. I think that's it. I'm sleepy today, guys, because oh, I keep watching Space Code, like Static, to see if there's more Space Codes coming in, but I don't see anything yet. But my sleep is awful. I'm like sleeping like literally so bad. Yeah.